Hi, it's me. So I thought I'd do a book haul today because why not? And before I get started, I finished editing Winter and I was really excited about it. And I finished at the very end of May, at least for now. So yeah, congratulate me. And so now I'm just working on one project again, and I'm also very excited about that. So I think I have about 27 books here, and I tried to put them in some kind of order. So I'm gonna start with the books that are not under the fantasy umbrella first, because it's just a couple of those. And yeah, so this is the first book. I think this was in the mystery section. It's called True Story by Kate Reid Petty. And it's about this one who's a ghostwriter. And years ago, she passed out at a party and was driven home. And maybe something disturbing happened. Maybe nothing happened. Nobody has the full picture, but everybody has a part of the picture. At least this group of friends. It's a little bit of mixed media, which I thought was interesting. And so you have like pages like this. And then you have like, I guess, notes, manuscript notes, and like regular narrative, I think. And I just thought that was interesting. So I like dark books. So I picked this up and I hit my camera, which is fine. So next I got For You and Only You by Caroline Kepnes. This is book 4 in the You series. And our dear Joe is going to like a writing, what is this? He gets into a writing fellowship at Harvard, and I'm expecting this to be quite different from season 4. I hope in a good way, because I did not love season 4. So we'll see what happens in this. It is on my immediate TBR, so I plan on reading this within the next month. And if you don't know what the You series is about, Joe is an obsessive stalker, and somehow we like him. He's interesting. Okay. Next, I got Natural Beauty by Lingling Huang. And I wanted to get this because it sounds like it's going to be similar to Mona Awad's Rouge that is coming out in September. And so I think this is about this woman who goes to this spa, and there's like something sinister going on with all the beauty treatments at the spa. This is also on my immediate TBR, and I'm very excited to read this. And I want to say that this might be horror. Somebody on the back who is a horror author, Nick Cutter, he says this is a modern day picture of Dorian Gray shot through a Cronenbergian lens. I don't know what that is, but I'm very excited about this. The next I got The Thorns Remain by J.J.A. Harwood. And this is a woman loses her friends in the woods to some Fae King, and she makes a deal with him. The front of the book says a Fae Lord, but I thought the back of the book said a Fae King. It doesn't matter. I thought it sounded interesting, so I picked it up. But anyway, it sounds like this Fae Lord King guy kidnaps her friends, and she has to make a deal with him and like play games or something to get her friends back. So yeah. Okay, then I picked up this. I only picked this up because everybody is talking about it, and it's pretty, and I don't know. I saw this book and I was like, oh, should I get this book because, you know, it's pretty. And then I was like, don't get that. You don't read fantasy romance or whatever this is. But I guess I'm gonna start. Also have some Sarah J. Maas books, so we're gonna start reading more fantasy romance. But this is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and all I know about this book is this woman rides dragons and there's a romance, and it's hot commodity right now. So I got it because sometimes when the book is really popular, I just ignore it, and sometimes I buy it and read it just because everybody else is talking about it, and I want to know what the big deal is. And I want to know what the big deal is. Next I have this. This is The God of Endings by Jacqueline Holland. I don't remember what this is about. It looks like skimming through the back and the flap description. It sounds like it's about this woman who is immortal, and then it spans several years, several centuries, or at least a few centuries. So I thought it sounded interesting when I bought it, so I picked it up, but I don't quite remember what it was about, but I think maybe it was the immortal thing. So we got this. And next I got this. I think this is the Fairy Loot edition, Alone with You in the Ether by Livy Blake. I actually don't know what this is about at all. And I also have this, this in the wrong section. Probably needs to be with my contemporary books, but you know, who cares? So, because the back says this is a contemporary love story. But I don't know. I just wanted the book. And I wanted this one because I like pretty books and pages. I have this, I guess somebody is a beekeeper or something. But the description says two people meet in the Art Institute by chance. And I guess this sounded interesting to me, or maybe I just wanted it because everybody was talking about Livy Blake. So I'm like, I'm just going to pick up some of Livy Blake books and see where everybody likes her so much. And next I got this. I was in Barnes & Noble, and I don't normally like illustrated covers, but I thought this one was really pretty and like striking. So I have Daughter of No Worlds. I love that title, by Carissa Broadbent. It sounds pretty high fantasy. And sometimes I can be really slow to get through some high fantasy books, but I thought it sounded interesting. It said this girl was a slave, and now she has an apprenticeship with some guy who's a handsome guy. And I guess they work together and fall in love. But this is kind of an impulse buy, and I don't regret it. Also, look at this. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty. I'm pretty sure this is an indie book too. So sometimes when indie books are in bookstores, I also want to know what they're about because they must be really popular. Next I have this, The Secrets of Heartwood Hall by Katie Lumsden. This is another one, I do not remember why I picked this up, but it sounded really interesting. This bolded section on the flap says, an atmospheric love letter to Victorian fiction, a chilling gothic mystery, and a compelling story of a woman learning to live life on her own terms. And then this first part says, nobody ever goes to Heartwood Hall. Folks say it's cursed. Oh, well, that makes sense. Historical, spooky, gothic thing. It's right up my alley. So I got this. And next, another book I don't know why I bought, The Gifts by Liz Heider. I also don't remember why I wanted this. Oh, I see. It's the jacket description starts October 1840. A young woman staggers alone through a forest in the English countryside as a huge pair of impossible wings rip themselves from her shoulders. Oh. So the front says it will take something extraordinary to show four women who they truly are. Okay. I'm intrigued by that. So we got this. And then the last book in this first stack, and I have a second stack, is Nocturne by Alyssa Wees. This was another impulse buy that I think I got at the same time as The Secrets of Heartwood Hall. But I don't know. I saw a ballerina on the cover and I read the description and it sounded dark. So I like dark books over here. So I picked this up. And the bolded parts of our jacket description says, in this haunting lyrical fantasy set in 1930 Chicago, a talented ballerina finds herself torn between her dreams and her desires when she's pursued by a secretive patron who may be more than he seems. I'm intrigued. And then Erin A. Craig blurbed this, and she has some dark fairy tale retellings, and she says, an enchanting and lyrical fever dream, bursting with dazzling prose and dark romance. Oh, she said it enthralled her. Well, obviously so. I like ballet and I like dark books. And yeah. So next, I decided to get all of the Murderbot books. I did have All Systems Red, but it had it in paperback. And then when I decided I wanted to get a couple more and they only had the hardcovers, I decided to replace this one so that they would all match. So I got All Systems Red. These are sci-fi books. The guy at the bookstore said it like it's funny and it like discusses like mental health issues through the point of view of this robot, I think. And so somebody on the back blurbed it as, meet your favorite depressed AI since Marvin. Who's Marvin? It says being in sci-fi and fantasy blog. So I got the rest of the books in the series. So the first 5 that I have are novellas. The first 4 are novellas, and then there was another novella. But I looked online, and it said that this 5th novella actually takes place before the events of the novel. And I was going to just get the novellas, but then I decided it's just one more book. I'm just going to go ahead and get it. So I have All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Artificial Condition. Rogue Protocol. Exit Strategy. Fugitive Telemetry. Fugitive Telemetry. It's close enough. And then we have the novel, which is Network Effects. So I got all of these. And then next, I got this just because I like Loki and there are snakes on the front. And you put snakes on the front of a book and apparently that's all you need to do to get my attention. And so we have Loki by Melvin Burgess. And I think it's just like a retelling of Loki's story from Loki's point of view. So I thought that would be fun. So I picked this up. Also, this is fantasy. So, doing a quick, sudden change in theme, I have 2 memoirs. And so I finally picked up Mindy Kaling's memoir, Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns. And it says this is about comedy nerds. But, I don't know. I've been wanting to pick this up for a while, so I decided that today would be the day. And then I got Next Level Basic by Stacy Schroeder. Apparently she was on this show called Vanderpump Rules, which I think is a reality show. I have not seen the show. But I have another book by her that I forget the name of off the top of my head, which I think comes after this book. And I think it's about like, you know, the basic, you know, bees guide to like, I don't know, not being a hot mess or something. And this is the definitive basic bee handbook. I thought it just sounds funny. And I like memoirs. And for some reason I like celebrity memoirs. And oh, this is interesting. There are like illustrations in the book and stuff like this. So I like stuff like this in the book. I thought this sounded funny. It was in the humor section. So, which I don't browse very often, but I should browse a little bit more often because I found some interesting things there. And the other thing I found in that section was this. I was a big fan of like comics like years ago, and I read them almost every day. One of the ones I read was Calvin and Hobbes, and this is There's Treasure Everywhere. And it's just a collection of Calvin and Hobbes comic strips, and some of them are in color, probably the Sunday ones, because the Sunday comics used to be in color, if anybody remembers a physical newspaper. I would be so excited on Sundays on our way home from going out to eat after church, and my dad would always stop and get the paper, and I would get the comment section, and then I would read them online when I was in college. So I thought I'd get this because it looks cute and fun, and we can always use books that are cute and fun, you know? And then next I have two. So all the rest of these books have pictures. So themes. And so these next two are mangas. So I got Black Paradox by Junji Ito. And I don't remember what this is about, but it's on my TBR for June. And it says 4 people intent on killing themselves meet through the suicide website Black Paradox, dark. And then it describes everyone. They wander together in search of the perfect death, fatefully open a door that leads them to a rather bizarre destiny. So, I love Junji Ito's art. It is stunning. So I'm excited. I'm a fan. Oh, gross. I make jokes sometimes about how like it's really hard to open one of his books to a random page without being grossed out, but I'm a big fan of Junji Ito. So. And then I picked up Spy Family because I heard somebody talking about the anime yesterday, and I didn't know what this was about, and he was talking about like really popular animes and the top 5 most popular animes in Japan right now. And he mentioned Spy Family and was talking about it. I was like, oh, that sounds really, really interesting. So in true me fashion, I go and I pick up the manga the next day. But it is about this family, and it's somebody is a spy and somebody has like psychic powers, and then oh, here we go, there's a spy, an assassin, and a telepath. Oh, that's a nice hook. Catchy. So this art style looks fun as well. So we are going to read this. But yes, this is Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo. Story and art. Awesome. Okay, next I have a picture book. It's called Trying by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by Elise Hurst. And I've read his series. He has a series, What Do You Do with an Idea? What Do You Do with a Chance? What Do You Do with a Problem? And I thought I'd read this for like a motivational pep talk, because now that I'm done editing, queries, I can sit down. So we might need a pep talk. And I think this is like, how to continue trying when you feel like you can't, or when you feel discouraged or whatnot and whatever. And it's for everyone. So I picked this up for myself. All right. Last 3 books. So in Barnes & Noble and the graphic novel comment section, and I saw this and I was like, this looks stunning. Oh, that is gross. The girl at the checkout said this was her pick for this month, and she said it was gross, and I was like, oh, good. Let's not show you one of those pages though. Look at this art. This is stunning. This is dark. And so it's Mercy by Mirka Andolfo, The Fair Lady, The Frost, and the Fiend. And it is, I want to say maybe fantasy horror, but it sounds right up my alley, and I'm very excited. And I put this on the immediate TBR. Okay, and next, the reason why I had gone into Barnes & Noble that day was to get this, the Barnes & Noble edition of Poison Ivy, The Virtuous Cycle, and by G. Willow Wilson, Mauricio Takara, and Arif Priyanto. And this cover is stunning. And Poison Ivy is one of my favorites. So she might be my most favorite. I like this. Nature isn't cruel, it's just efficient. And also the guy at the bookstore, he said he just finished it and that it was really, really good. And he said it was dark, and I was like, awesome. So, like, I need to be sold in Poison Ivy, but bonus points for being up my alley and like super dark. So this is what the original cover looks like, which is underneath our jacket. And Poison Ivy is my villain goal. If you ever want to know what my #1 most sought after magic powers, comic book powers, special abilities would be it's biokinesis. And then lastly, of course, cannot go into the comic section without looking for Harley Quinn. So if you want to know the order, it's Poison Ivy, Mad Hatter, Harley Quinn. So I picked this up. And the back says, murder is his art, catching killers is hers. So it sounds like a slightly different take. This is Criminal Sanity, Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity by Kami Garcia and these other people. And so I thought this was interesting. It says Harley Quinn is a forensic psychiatrist and profiler, and she consults with the Gotham City Police Department on their worst cases, but she's fixated on an unsolved murder that haunts her. The night she discovered her roommate's body marked with the signature of a notorious serial killer known as the Joker. And then 5 years later, the case is still unsolved, and I love Harley Quinn. And so I thought this was interesting. So I thought I would pick up this, you know, different take on Harley Quinn and the Joker, because I just feel like Joker stories are more fun from Harley Quinn's point of view. Wow, this art is extremely realistic. Was not expecting that. So that might be disturbing when there's blood involved later, probably. But yes, really excited about this. Really excited about everything. So yeah, let me know if any of these books are on your radar. And I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope you had a great May and are having a good June so far, all like 5 days of it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, and bye.